Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. No fewer than 37 deaths have been recorded in the current cholera outbreak, which has hit 30 states, including Lagos and Ogun. The special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on Health, Dr. Kemi Ogunyemi, in a statement by the Director of Public Affairs in the State Ministry of Health, Tubosun Ogumbawo, said the state had recorded an additional 6 cholera deaths as against the previous 15. She said cholera cases had risen to 401 in the state. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, in its recent report, said from January 1st to June 11, 2024, over 1,141 suspected and over 65 confirmed cases of cholera, resulting in over 30 deaths, had been reported from 96 local government areas in 30 states. Meanwhile, World Health Organization has announced a spike in cholera in several regions of the world, with almost 195,000 cases and over 1,900 deaths reported in 24 countries since the start of this year. The agency's Eastern Mediterranean region reported the highest number of cases, followed by the African region, the region of the Americas, the Southeast Asia region, and the European region. In its bulletin released, World Health Organization in a statement noted that there are no reported cases in the Western region. The United Nations Health Agency said it exhausted its global stockpile of oral cholera vaccines, also called OCV, by March, but was able to exceed the emergency target of 5 million doses in early June for the first time in 2024. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention has recorded 6,704 suspected Lassa fever cases and 162 deaths across 125 local government areas in 28 states. The NCDC said 911 cases from the suspected cases from January to June 9, 2024. The agency disclosed the figures in its Lassa fever situation report on its website on Friday. According to the World Health Organization, Lassa fever is an acute viral hemorrhagic illness caused by the Lassa virus, a member of the arenavirus family of viruses. The federal government has announced plans to bolster its anti-banditry operations with the acquisition of 15 new aircraft scheduled to arrive between now and next year. The initiative aims to strengthen security efforts in the northwest region and across Nigeria as terrorists occupy the Kainji National Park in Niger State. The Chief of Air Staff, Marshal Bala Abubakar, disclosed that the air fleet would include 12 AH-1 attack helicopters, 24 M346 attack aircraft, and 12 Augusta Westland 109 helicopters and 2 CASA 295 medium airlift aircraft. Abubakar stated this during the inauguration of new facilities at the 213 Forward Operational Base in Katsina State. The Academic Staff Union of Universities says alleged failure of the federal government to resolve its demands is an invitation to the impending paralysis in Nigeria's public universities. Similarly, the union alleged that lack of sincerity on the part of the federal and state government to address the issues has worsened the living and working conditions of academic staff in public universities. Addressing journalists after a protest walk by the university lecturers over the contending issues with the government, the union's chairman, Kano University Science and Technology, Dr. Aliyu Ahmad, urged the public, especially critical stakeholders of the Nigerian university system, to hold the federal government responsible if the union proceeds on strike at any time. West African Examination Council WAEC in Nigeria says it will gradually eliminate the use of papers in the conduct of its examinations. Dr. Amos Dangote, who is head of national office, disclosed this after monitoring the conduct of the ongoing West African Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination in Abeokuta. The WAEC boss explained that WAEC is planning to deploy electronic devices to various recognized examination centers across the country for the future conduct of West African Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination. He said that the deployment of the devices would eliminate the current use of paper registration of candidates and dictate all forms of malpractice in the centers. Kano State government has directed the Commissioner of Police to remove the 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, from the Nasarawa Mini Palace where he resides. The State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Haruna Dederi, during a press conference, said government has concluded arrangement for the general reconstruction and renovation of the property, including the demolition and reconstruction of the dilapidated wall fence with immediate effect. It had earlier been reported that a federal high court sitting in Kano had nullified all actions taken by the state government after the passage and signing of 2024 Emirates Council law. The presiding judge, Justice Abdullahi Liman, gave the ruling on Thursday. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has warned political parties involved in the off-cycle governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states to avoid the use of hate speech and offensive languages in the conduct of their campaign for the elections. The commission also said that parties contesting the election should avoid carrying arms to venues of such campaigns, which must be communicated to the commission and the Nigerian police at least 10 days before the campaign. This was contained in the guidelines for campaign released by the Commission, while also saying that in accordance with the provisions of the Electoral Act, all candidates in the election should be allowed access to public facilities for their campaign activities. The Bauchi state government has announced plans to revitalize its tourism sector, noting that the move is to attract visitors from far and wide. This was disclosed by the Commissioner for Tourism and Culture, Abdul Hassan, while speaking with tourism ambassadors of the state who paid him a courtesy visit in his office. He stated that the state is committed to unlocking its vast tourism potential, maintaining that key projects are on the way, including the refurbishment of iconic Yankari Game Reserve, which has reached a 50% completion rate. Ondo State government says necessary legal action will be taken on the judgment nullifying the creation of the 33 local council development areas in the state. The government's reaction is contained in a statement by the Attorney General of the state, Kayode Ajulo, and made available to newsmen in Akure, the state capital. In a bid to restore order and ensure smooth traffic flow, Lagos State Traffic Management Authority has impounded 40 vehicles operating illegal garages and causing road obstructions in Oyingbo, Ijora and Idumota areas. This was disclosed in a statement by the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, stating that the agency's enforcement team led by Kayode Odunuga carried out the operation under the guidance of the Special Advisor to the Governor on Transportation, Shola Giwa. The team, he noted, particularly targeted illegal garages that had been causing persistent traffic jams and inconvenience for residents and commuters. Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court Abuja has adjourned to July 15 the trial of the Chief of Staff to the Kogi State Governor Ali Bello and his co-defendant Dauda Suleiman in an amended money laundering charge. The charge was instituted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The defendant, who is a nephew of the immediate past governor of the state, Yahaya Bello, was arraigned before the Federal High Court in Abuja over his alleged complicity in the diversion of over 10 billion naira from the state's treasury. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, says the management of the force will not allow untrainable and persons of questionable character be recruited into the police force. Egbetokun made the revelation while fielding questions from journalists in Abuja on the sidelines of a conference with commissioners of police and other senior officers of the force. Sharon Ajay has details.
Speaking on the controversy over the recruitment of constable and the allegations by the Police Service Commission, PSC, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, maintained that the Nigerian police force is a specialized institution that is not meant for all Nigerians.
He cannot sit down and look on and see how recruitment into the police force is anyhow. He cannot afford to disappoint the officers and men that he's leading. We are doing everything possible to make sure that qualified and trainable individuals are recruited into the police.
The police boss also directed the continuation of the police barricade on all local government secretariats in Rivers State to prevent a breakdown of law and order.
This issue, you are all aware, is in court. The police will wait for the outcome of the court case. Whatever the court decides is what the police is going to do. Yes, we have our men barricading the secretariats as at now. We are doing that to prevent breakdown of law and order in that state.
He added that the police will continue to occupy the secretariat until a court of competent jurisdiction delivers judgment on the local government crisis in Rivers State. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching News Cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times Channel 276. Can you follow us on all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Cycle returns, Nigeria Employers Consultative Association urges organized labor to prioritize job security. These and other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us. Prioritize. Time check. It's midday. Then it's Midday Discourse. Midday Discourse is a program that covers trending local and international news, current issues, and human-related topics. Join Samuel Odi weekdays 1 p.m. on Global Television. The discussion starts here.
For an insightful idea that takes the center stage and the conversation that gets beyond the headlines, to explore the lasting impact of political decisions, Big Talk got you covered. From policy debates to geopolitical insights, from thought-provoking discussions to actionable insight.
What is the real responsibility of government?
Big Talk delves deep into the heart of the matter. Join us weekdays on global televisions from 6:30 p.m. for a reverting journey into the heart of politics, where we dissect issues shaping our society.
Is the desk on Global Television?
Nigeria! Come join Anthony Momodu on television's most compelling and facts-finding talk live show.
We are the Palestinians, we are the Canaan, because
that this country gets it right.
who are these bandits?
It's the Dex on global television, where we analyze and dissect storming issues and commentaries in the world's biggest black nation, Nigeria.
Who is being held accountable for this money?
The eyes have it.
We stay and decide policies and reforms on the Dex. Tune in Mondays to Fridays, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on global television. Let's stay on the Dex.
Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of News Cycle. Thank you for staying with us. On the foreign scene, a top Namibian court have struck down the African country's colonial laws criminalizing same-sex relationship. In a victory for the LGBTQ community, the High Court in the capital Windhoek declared the crimes of sodomy and unnatural sexual offenses as unconstitutional and invalid in a ruling held by the LGBTQ right groups. The judgment overturns already enforced laws dating back to 1927, which Namibia inherited from the colonial era but maintained after gaining independence from South Africa in 1990. 11 opponents of Mali's ruling junta were arrested as they met in the capital after calling for the return of civilian rule in a West African nation, their coalition said. The military, which seized power in 2020, had promised to reorganize elections and hand over power to civilians by the end of March this year, but later postponed the elections indefinitely. Those detained include the heads of parties and political movements, which signed a declaration in March calling for the handover of power to civilians. They were arrested late Thursday as they took part in an illegal meeting when political party activities are banned, a source in the Legal Investigation Unit revealed. Donald Trump has said he wants to grant green cards to foreign graduates from U.S. colleges in an apparent softening of his typically hardline view on immigration, a key election issue. The Republican candidate made remarks in a podcast published days after President Joe Biden announced a citizenship pathway for immigrants married to U.S. nationals and counterbalancing his recent crackdown on illegal border crossings. Trump said these include anybody who graduates from a college, including those who complete two-year programs known as junior colleges and doctoral graduates. At least 47 people have died in a downpour in the southern China's Guangdong province caused historic flooding and slides, state media reported. State broadcaster CCTV said that another 38 people were confirmed dead in Meizu City, adding to 9 others previously reported dead in the same city. 9 people died and 6 are missing after downpours caused historic flooding in rural parts of Guangdong province in southern China, while authorities warned Friday of more flooding ahead of other parts of the country. A man died on the sidelines of a mass demonstrations against the proposed tax hikes in the Kenyan capital of Nairobi, with the mounting protests a day earlier also leaving 200 people injured. A police watchdog said it was investigating allegations that the man was shot by police after demonstrations in Nairobi, the second this week, led largely by young Kenyans. The protest began in Nairobi on Tuesday before spreading nationwide. They have been galvanized by widespread discontent over President William Ruto's economic policies, as many people already grapple with a cost of living crisis. On business, President Bola Tinubu is expected to lead other federal government officials to next week's 3rd edition of the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association Summit with the theme Economic Resilience, Harnessing Government Reforms and Private Sector Agility. This came as the association insisted that for government to attract more investment, it must create pathways for consensus building for effective implementation of reforms. In a briefing ahead of the summit, Director General of Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, Adewale Smart Oyerinde, stated that President Tinubu has accepted to attend the summit. He, however, noted that to achieve this, government has a responsibility to develop strategies for making the reform benefits accessible to all and identify inclusive growth pathways for equitable opportunities. The Nigerian Employers Consultative Association has urged the organized labor to to put first job security in the ongoing negotiation for a new national minimum wage. The association advised the organized labor to agree with a figure that is realistic and sustainable, adding that in the last 3 years, hundreds of companies have exited the country, shut down, or changed business models. Addressing reporters during the association's forum with Labour Writers Association of Nigeria, the Director General of Adewale Oyerinde said organized labor should refocus its effort on protecting jobs, boosting the capacity of the private sector to create more jobs and ensure sustainability and ability to pay. The Debt Management Office DMO says Nigeria's total public debt has reached 121.67 trillion naira within 3 months. This figure represents an increase of 24.33 trillion naira or 24.99% from the 97.34 trillion naira as of December 2023. Nigeria's public debt profile consists of domestic and external debt stock of the federal and subnational governments, the 36 states, and the Federal Capital Territory. On June 13th, Wale Edun, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, announced the approval of 2 major what he called financial support packages by World Bank valued at $2.25 billion. Nigeria's total public debt has reached 121.67 trillion naira, increasing by 24.33 trillion naira or 24.99% within 3 months, the Debt Management Office has announced. This new figure is from a total debt of 97.34 trillion naira as of December 2023. The DMO, in a statement, said the public debt comprises both the total domestic and external debts of the federal government of Nigeria, the 36 state governments, and the Federal Capital Territory between January and March 2024. And still in the news, the federal government declared that it was perfecting the process for the establishment of an electricity offences tribunal with an inbuilt appeal system to speedily tackle power-related offences. It also declared that a total of 2,655,488 meters in the power sector had been tested and calibrated, as most of the equipment had been deployed for use by consumers across the country. Speaking at the press briefing in Abuja, the Managing Director of the Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, Aliyu Tahi, stated that in line with the mandate of the agency, it has tested and calibrated over 2.6 million meters. And that's how we call it a wrap on the news cycle. I am Anthony Momodu.